everybody, you have found what to play next. We bring everything that is awesome in gaming. This is Serpent. So interesting. I'm supposed to do that. There is an intro where you find out that Batlin, the priest of the Guardian, who is haunting people's dreams in Britannia, has fled to the Serpent now. That was what happened in the last game. You don't have to play the last game to play this one. It's one of the greatest isometrics of all time. It is nothing but side quests. So we are working with Fawn now, the City of Beauty, to try and uncover what it is that its mayor and high priestess are doing. They know that they're lying. It's one of the few cities that it's the only city with a female mayor. But they don't really enter into that, so that's interesting. The city we were in last, there are three main places to hang out, to chill, lost its champion to the goblins, and they've, all three cities have been separated ever since, so we're looking into the nothing but side quests. Okay, so we need to find Zulith, the Chancellor. He'll be able to change out our money. They all have different currencies, so this is not Britannia. This is not where you're the avatar. There have been these teleportation storms. They swap out items, and so you can go through on these fun side quests where you have other people's stuff, and you can return it to them and get your stuff back and find out the history behind it. So we're carrying around a bunch of silly things, like sparkly stockings and silly shoes and a hat and so on, that obviously belong to somebody. So they're kind of in a bad spot because of all of this. Magic has gone crazy. They have teleportation storms, and they're getting attacked by goblins. So they don't know what to do about it, but their way of life goes on, unknown to the avatar here. So you're used to being way more important than you are. That's just a guard. You're just kind of hanging out, looking around for Batlin, and Iolo's wife right here. This dude. Who is that man? This dude right here, his wife went along to this island, so we're looking for her as well. One of Monitish's favorite female pikemen. I am Zulith, Chancellor of Fawn. It's my honor and duty to serve you. We were just looking for you, Zulith. Art thou following me? I'm a busy man, my lady. If thy business lies along the route that mine doth, what fault of mine is that? Besides, what hast thou done to warrant thy worries, that I might be following thee? Cheeky fellow. Arrogant strangers. Wow. Well met, my lady. 'Tis a pleasure to see thee again. The storms are quite disruptive. They've totally depleted our fishing fleet. Great Captain Garth doth have plans laid for rebuilding the ships, but 'twould not be safe until these storms subside. Great Captain Joth is in charge of finding the means to sustain the city until this unusual weather clears. Great captains. So instead of guard captains, like Monitor has, they have great captains, obviously. So they're seafaring. The counselors to Yolinda, ruler of Fawn. Art 3. Garth, Joth, and Valden. Garth comes from a fine family. He will give you a ride home. He's low on gas, so he needs to know where. He's the youngest member of the council, wisely tempers his views to those of the senior council members. Garth is also something of a ladies' man, I fear. We saw that in the movie. Captain Joth was the finest sea captain before he was injured. Oh, that sucks. He favors beginning to rebuild the fleet now, but hath deferred to Volden's opinion that it would not be safe to do so at this time. Why does Volden think that? Volden doth have a history of service of Fawn. Well, apparently we're going to find out. He was unanimously nominated for the council position by his fellow captains. Volden works in conjunction with the captain of the guard to assure Fawn's safety. He is senior on the council. Interesting. Garth's family doth own a shipping business. They have been merchant seamen for generations. As his mother's youngest son, he took the council seat when his cousin resigned. His elder brother is now in charge of the family's shipping business. How did Joth get injured? Ran aground during a storm. His injuries would not allow him to return to sea, so Yolinda granted him a seat on the council. That was smart. Who would cut wood to build the ships for fear more goblins, which were taken care of? No sane person would venture in the open world with this storms arriving without warning. So we went open world spelunking. We went through the caves and the goblin village and so on, and killed Jorgath, who is the guy who is uniting them. Even the tower hath been retaken, it will not be long before they're back. So we did get the Tower of Fawn back, for instance. Things are taking a turn for the better, and we will eventually find out about these teleportation storms. Bolden served Fawn as a member of the city guard in his younger days before he became a council member as a fishing captain. 'Tis their honor to oversee the fleets in all trade matters. They've been appointed to their post in recognition of their expertise. What do you do as a chancellor there, yo? He's an envoy from Lady Yolinda to the great captains. He receives the minor details that should not worry her ladyship. Then he exchanges our money. So like I said, each of them have different currencies. You lose money whenever you exchange it. So we do want Folari, which are their 2-to-1. It's their currency. All of them, obviously. They have 81 gold coins. Gold coins are the currency of Britannia. We have 158. And they did this nice thing where when you're encumbered, they drop it on the ground now. So that's really handy. So I have guilders, which I think I'll hold on to. I need to ditch some of my equipment. I have so much crap from the Goblin Lair. It's just kind of ridiculous. Let's see if that'll do it. We'll just leave that there. If I can sell it, I will. I love that you can read their books. So there's, like I said, you can go open world spelunking where you just go on this big monster quest. You can pretty much ignore that and then just burn through it with magic weapons. Or you can explore everything. Fighting is an art. Lesson 1, in fighting, thou must never lose, no matter what thou must do. An enemy must be destroyed. So they're considerably more focused on aesthetic than anything else here. It's built on the water. It's an interesting place. So you can talk to your companions, you can equip them, you can play the equipment game. I pretty clearly have some more. Let me see, it's time to provision. It's always nice to provision up. You do have to eat in this game. So while they won't always say no thank thee, if they're not hungry, then, they won't eat. If they are hungry, then they will. They're wise men. They know if you're hungry, eat. If you're tired, sleep. Wise men know what they mean. Fools will laugh at what they say. Alright, so let's run around with our money and see what we can get. Find out what's going on in the city. So for some people, this is continuing the quest. For others, it's, going to get the Goblin Camp was. So it depends on what kind of player you are. Whether you want to explore the social parts of the game, the narrative there, or if you want to and see what's really going on here. So I just exchange it for garbage. That's not helping. Every once in a while you get something cool. The storm is over. Thank you. Who are you? It's always a pleasure to see the Avatar. How may I be of assistance? Oh, right. She's their healer. We actually had to come up here. We got poisoned by a tattoo artist. There was a lot of intrigue in the last quests. Would that I never hear of those horrible creatures again. They are why I am now Fawn's healer, although I am not properly trained. Pomdurgan's shadow hath cast a blight on all the land. The very name sends ice down my spine. Pomdurgan hath welded all the goblins into his weapon. He'll never stop until he hath driven us from the land or feasted on us to the last child. He's a fiend drawn to destroy our beauty. Well, we killed him, but apparently we don't get to brag about that, so we'll just keep on moving here. Hold there. Say, thou with the lute, art thou a bard? Yes, I am, although as of late I do not feel the music within me. I beg of thee, canst thou indulge me for one song? 'Tis sinister thunder that doth linger in my ears. Few strums from my strings could bring comfort to the sorrowful town. So they really take it seriously, embracing the concept of beauty. Truly sorry, I don't think I can help thee. Well, sailor, I shall sing to thee my heart's one song. I fear that it is a sad one. It's a shame, my heart's hurt shame, that I am singing of my love in vain. For I've lost my lady, my love. And I will search for her, yes, search for her. Even though all the stars above, Gwenno, canst thou hear me, Gwenno, my dear? Take heart, for thy beloved Iolo is here. Now I need me a drink, catchy tune. So here's a provisioner. We can probably offload some of our stuff. I am Dellen, Fawn's provisioner. How may I serve you, Lady Pikeman? So we did join Monitor to get Iolo out. You can fight them. Like I said, you're not a hero here, so it doesn't matter. I don't want to purchase anything per se. A bag, a bucket, fishing pole, candle, torch, bedroll, fur boots, backpack. Fur boots might be nice. Stocking, great helm. I did find a sextant that's fairly important. Thou shouldst purchase a hand mirror if thou dost not already own one. You can haggle. What's up with the goblins? I would still want to talk about them. The storms are much more fun. We don't have time for this. Don't be testy. Thou dost not need to scowl so. Everyone is so serious these days. 'Tis not healthy, thou knowest. The goblins are large, mean, and hateful. They prefer to eat humans, and they make it unsafe to travel. But I never travel since they took away my son Frelly. Didst thou say Frelly? Hast thou seen him? I have not seen him since the Magister took him away. I will give anything to be able to see him again, or some word from him. Alicia died bringing him into this world. He's all I have to remember her by, except for Alisande, of course, but Frelly owes his mother more. And safe. Nothing is safe, not even life. I lost my dear Alicia after childbirth. Thou couldst return to the subject at hand, Dellen. We would be most grateful. I wandered her off again, didn't I? The goblins have killed our healer. Now we have to make do with a horticulturist. Imagine that. And of course the goblins have attacked the Fawn Tower. She was a true beauty, I tell thee. Soft golden hair and the brightest eyes thou hast seen. She came from Moonshade, and no one had cause to fear her. She had not a drop of magic other than her smile. Our friend Iolo shares thy grief. His wife was lost as well in these lands. I hope she doth live, stranger Iolo. Gwenno were lost from me forever. Perhaps I too would be a little confused. Condolences to thee, Dellen. And apologies. They say I shall feel better soon, but I don't see it. So Moonshade is the city of mages, and we'll eventually obviously head there. It's more than likely where Batlin went, just because so many of his plots had things like magic involved in them. Did I say something about a horticulturist? But we were talking about healers. When Seth was killed, Delphinia took his place. You cannot obtain a replacement from anywhere because of the storm. Delphinia is a fine horticulturist. She hath little or no training as a healer. Doesn't seem right having a woman as a healer. Women should concern themselves with the delights of life, not the sorrows. That's lovely. Nasty temper on Seth. Alright. I'm certain the goblins found him a bitter meal. So these guys do have their earthy side. Always insisted on going herb gathering alone. 'Tis what finally killed him. Wouldn't take any guards along with him even after the goblin attacks increased. What were we discussing? So you can find out all about them. Magister comes like a thief in the night to test children along for magic talent. So apparently they do try to group them into the different cities. He ran off with this guy's kid because he had magic talent. I don't work for the Magister. Had no contact with him since he's been taken away. They obviously try to attract people with beauty, and then Monitor goes for people who have valor. So, she was a true beauty, I tell thee, soft golden hair. I guess that's his wife. They came and take Frelly. They have a conversation with him about how Gwenno was lost. And then we aren't able to tell them that Fawn Tower is back. But I know it's all about the goblin treachery being a pikeman. Everyone is so relieved that fine pikeman companions have retaken the tower. Okay, so this guy already knows about it. Apparently some of them haven't heard about it. They do not understand it was only a matter of time before we die. Well, grant thee any death would be better than becoming a goblin's supper. Certain that Pomdurgan would be very disappointed to learn thou dost not know of him. I actually do. I slayed him myself. Slayed? He is slain. He hath gone to great lengths to be sure that we in Fawn know the name of the goblin leader that will bring us to our knees. Or his stewpot. Alrighty. Storms, yes. So many pretty colors, so many unusual results. That's interesting. I should watch these storms for some time. The lightning is all different colors. That's interesting. They'll stray us too far into the watch, thou mayest not enjoy it too much. Thou hast met my daughter. I'd forgotten. I'm sorry. Alison is very pretty, but she worries too much about me. She doth not believe I'll be all right without her. I also have questions about that. Alison is around somewhere, at least she was. She never leaves me alone for long. She hovers over me quite a bit since Keth disappeared. Alison's my daughter, didst thou know? You had mentioned that. Hast thou seen Keth? If so, thou should tell him Alison doth still have her engagement ring. I think she lost it. We did attempt to return that. She let us keep it. It's not right to say that we'll marry someone and then not return. So we kind of have to find Keth instead of returning the engagement ring. Passing part of the ring, he ordered it, especially from someone in Mood Shade. My Alicia was from Mood Shade. My poor Alicia. Look how daft, old man. Be gentle with him. I fear he's a bit confused. Still mourn the loss of my life. I'd call her and ask her to show it to thee. Alison lost it not long ago. Why, it is certainly doth look like it. Alison will be so happy. I would reward thee for returning it to her. The storm stripped my cash box of all my funds the other day. I went to open my shop the next morning, and there was a bundle of food in place of it. Aw, that sucks. What's what happened to our food? Well, we can return the Filari, certainly. Yes, those are Filari. This is as much as the storm took from me. This may be his coins. We got that ported in return for our food. I would accept thy money if thou dost wish to purchase something. I already bought a mirror. This guy, I tell you what. Yeah, I hear. Just have the money. Yes. Apparently they really want you to haggle. I wanted the fur boots anyways. But this guy just took like everything. Keth has not returned. No one has seen him or his crewmates. Okay, so he sailed out, and we'll have to find out something about what was going on there. The results of the storm, dear. 2 reasons the storms are fun to watch. What's 2 reasons? Sometimes there's a flash, something that we're standing across from is gone, and then there's a flash, something that we're watching is a big orange pumpkin. I like the last one the best. It's fun to guess what will be there after the flash. Sounds like he doth have a sense of humor. 'Tis an incredible sight. Not very funny if it hits a person. It did hit Iolo, and he wound up locked up as a result. He was exchanged for a jar of ashes, which we weren't able to return. So that's unfortunate. Who's this dude? Moment, sir. Ah, sweet savior, no fair face has one worn. My goodness! Goodness, what's up, Captain Garth? You don't look anything like the Garth I was referring to. Storms are not natural. Already our livelihood has been taken. They're sailors, so. Battle goblins and spawns building. Drove savage creatures from this area. Because they're innate cowardice, they don't band together. We killed Ponder again. So, he's a dead man. We're good. Attacks failed. They return, the tower. Unfortunately, they just have Delphini instead of their healer. So, we'll keep an eye out for a healer. Delphinia hath been a sad lady since Callista arranged to exile the Fellowship sailors from her city. She cannot decide whether she's glad Rogues is gone or not, poor lady. So there's quite a bit of lore going on, what's called lore going on here. The, Fellowship are bad guys. We can maybe sneak in through Rogues because Callista is in love with them. Or because Delphinia is in love with them. We're going to obviously have to do something with Callista to solve these people's problems. She said the storms will not stop until the heavens are appeased. So she's kind of starting to run a game here, which a lot of politicians do. We're probably going to get underneath that. And the problem of beauty and the way that they see it as pulchritude and only as physical beauty seems to be a little bit of an issue where these men are on the sticky wicket from it. Bond is built upon the water. We were fishermen by trade. So link in the description below if you do want to play along. Also down there is Gamer Grind, Gamer Coffee shipped to your door. They will put your logo on merch for nothing bucks. We also have a beautiful, beautiful logo that you can sport. We put it on stickers, so you can hit that up anywhere. Or you can do coffee mugs, t-shirts, whatever. So that's down there, KOFI. Buy this chick a coffee, $1. Make me smile. or if you're more into a subscription base, we did set up a Patreon. So if you want to do something like a Twitch subscription where you pay monthly, you can certainly do that. And, give us a heads up. We'll include some content for you. We do extra content in there because we've been in everything, TV, movies, the whole bit, books even. So we do know a little bit behind the scenes for everything. So most of all, hit subscribe. That's really free. So hit subscribe and the bell. And if you're into this sort of thing, if you love hearing about how they're having this contest over beauty, how Zulith, is getting in between things politically, and Yolinda and Callista are starting to compete over who is more beautiful rather than ruling their city. Obviously they're laid up because of what's going on. And there's this magical oracle that we're going to look into so we can find out more about that and the revelations that it's giving. We love you guys. We love that you're always along for the ride. I am going to go ahead and cut it short because we're pushing it on time. That does happen when you get into lore and start solving people's problems. You do have to list them. In previous games, you had to take notes. I am going to go back around and visit one of those games. So if you like this, you're in for a good surprise. So definitely smash the subscribe, hit the bell. We will see you in the next video. We have a haunted building. Joff led a party of sailors and guardsmen to check what happened in the lighthouse. Party returned pale and shaken. So we can check out the lighthouse that's haunted. Lighthouse, the oracle. We're mostly looking for people aside from that. And there's something going on with this competition for beauty and the board there, the council board. We don't like Folden. And they need to rebuild their fleet. And also possibly find them if someone's fiance was on board. Folden's views are old-fashioned.